And Tee Higgins, look at that smarmy transition. He is a crucial component. Shut up, Mr. Makeup of your team dependent guy, man. Tee Higgins is a crucial element for the Cincinnati offense. Now, we were just talking about Joe Mixon. That should have been my much easier and less dumb transition into Tee Higgins, but it wasn't. I stick with my golf transition. But Tee Higgins is somebody that I've been trying to acquire everywhere, every how, anytime. I want him on every iteration of a team. I want him in redraft. I want him in dynasty. I want him in best ball. I want him everywhere. So as of right now, he is still not a top 10 value. And that blows my mind for dynasties. So, I apologize. He did get moved up. He got moved up in fantasy pros at least. He's moving up there, it looks like, to wide receiver 8. But I have him as a top 3 long-term asset in Dynasty. I know that everybody's still very much attracted to Jamar Chase, and I get it. I get why. He boomed hard and noticeably. It was very visible games. Like, everybody got the highlight reel from Jamar Chase. Tee Higgins struggled early on in the season. He was dealing with his own injuries. But in the back half of the year, so in week 8, there was a turning point for Tee Higgins where he started to get a bigger role than Jamar Chase and went with it. And from that point on, he was better than Jamar Chase in receptions and yards. Higgins had 4 games of 100-plus yards during that stretch and one more of 97, which I want to round it up so bad just to give him the 5th one, but I probably shouldn't. All during that span from week 8 on. He boomed hard, but nobody seems to be focusing on that. Like,
well, because it wasn't the big plays, it wasn't the big sexy, 80-yard rips down the field for the touchdown that, Jamar Chase just housing people. Do you think maybe with Jamar, question is maybe hit that rookie wall a little bit? He was out of football for a year, didn't play his senior season or his last season in college. So he's like a full year plus removed from being in football shape. Do you think maybe part of that was just a function of him not being like mentally ready for the 17-game season of the NFL?
It's very possible. Or maybe he just succumbed to the size of the NFL ball, and it didn't have the stripes on it, and he just couldn't deal after a certain while. No, I think there is some validity to that. Like, I could absolutely see that being the case. I don't know for sure. Because when I watch things, it's still... Because Chase did still have big games after that point, too. But you're right. There were definitely further and fewer between.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to poke holes in your argument here because I love me some Tee Higgins, too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just playing devil's advocate because it makes for better podcasting.
You're a great Keanu Reeves in that way, I will say. You're a great devil's advocate.
The only time I will ever be compared to Keanu Reeves. I love it. Thank you.
Enjoy it.
I'm taking it and running with it.
I know. To your point, yeah, that could absolutely be a case. But again, the case could easily be made for Tee Higgins in the other way of coming back from that injury. It just took him that long to ramp up. And once he was there and Higgins looked healthy, didn't just look like a decoy anymore. He had those games early on where he had that AJ Green kind of vibe to him of, I'm really hurt, but I'm just going to be out here. And I'm not even really I don't even expect to have the ball thrown to me, but I'm going to pretend to run some routes to draw some coverage. So I think that Higgins coming on hurt Chase, maybe, as you're saying, wasn't the only reason that Chase suffered. But I also think that both of these guys can absolutely thrive this year. And I just think it's crazy that he's so far behind Chase. I would, if anything, they should be on the exact same tier for me. Because Higgins is a year older, not even 2 years older than Jamar Chase. So from Dynasty, I'm not worried from that perspective. The touchdown upside is just as big for Higgins. He's not going to get it the same way that Chase does. Like you said, it's not going to be those 80-yard bombs probably, but a little less sexy. But I'm so excited about Tee Higgins, and I can't stop drafting him.
Oh, I don't blame you. I love him. So realistically, what do you think would be the trade value for him?
I think for Higgins, you're going to have to give up a first plus for sure. That's
Mhm.
pretty easy there. But like unlike Chase, where you still have to give up 2 firsts and a really quality player of your own, for Higgins, I think you can just do a first and let's say a good RB2 would be the kind of
Okay.
value I think you'll have to give up for Higgins, which I'm super comfortable. If you have somebody like Cam Akers that is still, again, for some reason has this crazy name value, or J.K. Dobbins,
Mhm.
those are the perfect pairings for me to go with that late first for T. Higgins. And then I'd be making those moves.